Wow, that's a beautiful performance, I must indicate, from Simonia Africa dance group, mesmerizing us this morning as we're still coming to live from NTL Baraka Farm. It's 50 kilometers from Tzaneen. We are in the Limpopo province. That's where the National Arbor Week is being held here in this province under the theme Forest and Water. And many places in South Africa are barren and lifeless because they do not have trees, gardens or plants. So National Arbor Week serves to promote for the awareness to plant and maintain indigenous trees throughout South Africa, so especially for the many disadvantaged communities who often live in barren and water-stressed areas. So to find out how we can all take part in preserving our trees and forests, we are joined by the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Senzeni Zokwana. Minister, good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Morning to listeners.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Why are we here, Minister, specifically in Limpopo province?
We are promoting greening because this time is about making people aware and showcasing the work we have done, but also looking at what can be done going forward to make sure that our places are green, trees are planted, trees for shade and trees for fruit, and to make sure that where there are indigenous trees, they are protected and we avoid cutting them, because when you cut a tree, it must feel like when you cut your own limb, because it has a lot to offer in terms of food for people, as well as fundamentally it also assists in dealing with climate change challenges.
But can we really avoid the cutting of trees, especially as Africans? I mean, that's what we make fire out of, and like the DM was explaining earlier on, that inzima lento git.
It is not. It is difficult. It is not, because if you look at other alternative forms of energy, most of our areas have been electrified now, but still, because of poverty, we can't afford to buy electricity for cooking. But we believe that we can alleviate or reduce the cutting of trees, because we'll never relieve of women of the burden, because no man will go to the forest to fetch wood. But we need to change that, in which we believe that other methods like biogas can be used to ensure that people don't have to rely on trees, but they can use the farming waste to produce their own energy.
All right. So you were telling me earlier on that last year the initiative was taken to the KZN, so this year you decided on the Limpopo province. You're looking at the semi-rural areas?
Of course, yes, but also we are promoting municipalities to compete, and there are awards today that will be given, because we give them targets of how much trees they should plant. We make these trees available. Because these trees to us means that last year we ran a campaign that says one family, one child, one tree, because we want to make sure that families have got trees in their yards. Trees for shade and trees for fruit. But also we believe that we can be able, therefore, forests have got this fundamental work they do, which is to clean the water, because water passes the roots, and that will be filtering all the dust to remain behind. And we believe that through forests we can be able to reduce the impact of climate change, as we know that trees will absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, thus therefore playing a major role. But also agro-processing means that we can have even a production of honey from the trees, where we can promote bee honey harvesting, and also we can have tourists coming, because if there are trees, there are birds. If there are birds, there's nice music. And all those combined can change the future of an area.
All right. Now, Minister, this morning we're broadcasting live from one of the farms that has actually benefited from the department's agroforestry initiative. Tell us about the initiative as to how the government is helping the emerging farmers in this field particularly.
Firstly, we have had a policy that looks at small-scale farmers. And when we speak of transformation, the charter that deals with that, we are saying that we need to provide and assist small-scale foresters, by making sure that seeds are made available, but also take them through processes where they can learn to understand how they can promote. But in any other business venture, you need a market. If there's no market for production, you will not be able to succeed. So coming here was very, very important because we want people to know that you don't have to be a man to be in forestry. Even women can play their role. So we want to make sure that this venture is done here will promote the small scale for forestry and elude the youth and get them into the forestry through studies, so that they know that, of course, we know the years you take before you harvest your trees is long. But we believe if you mix your program in such a way that as you wait for trees to grow and be ripe for harvesting, other crops like nuts can be planted in between. You can promote beehives so that you are able to sell. So I think forest must be seen not in isolation from trees, but also that we want to promote other forms scientifically to make sure that people can harvest raisins and other things from trees before you harvest them.
All right. So what is this year's tree of the year?
I was not briefed.
Well, all right. But I do know that you'll be planting one now at 8 o'clock.
We are because, as I'm saying that we have to make sure that among the indigenous trees, we look at trees that grow in those areas. I will be able to see when I'm there. But I believe that today should be seen that as not a one event. It must be ongoing.
All right, Minister, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you so much for your time. That's the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Senzeni Zokwana, talking to us about today's events. He will be planting a tree at 8 o'clock, and from here, the event will take place at Ngoankuwa Stadium. That's where the official launch of the Arbor Week will take place. Well, Morning Live takes a break. Don't go away.